Hey guys, welcome back to Angel and Angela, and on this podcast, I am going to talk to you guys about the real reason the narcissist won't leave you alone. The real reason the narcissist will not leave you alone. So a lot of times you're going to find yourself asking yourself, why? Why won't this person leave me alone? Even when you've went through the final discard with these people, you'll find yourself wondering why every couple of months or every other year, the narcissist it almost seems like they just don't have an expiration date, and you're always having this feeling that they'll be back. Sometimes you almost know when they'll be back. Sometimes you already have a perception of when they'll be back. Like your mind will tell you, they'll be back in 2 weeks, in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year. Oh, this time they really messed up with me, and they know I know now, so they're going to be gone, for a long time. And to the narcissist, a long time means nothing to them when they're in hell for eternity. So they feel like any amount of time that passes by, it really doesn't matter. I've had an experience where I've seen the narcissist hoover someone at 90 years old, and this person moved on with their life after that narcissist. They never spoke that narcissist even to existence. They killed that person out of their mind. And when the narcissist returned, because they knew they would return, they didn't know when, but they would return. They returned many years later, and they're kind of like, oh, my wife died, your husband died, we're old, we should just be together. And you're like, what? To someone who's a weak-minded person, and who might be an elderly, can get caught up in elderly abuse, because now you're dealing with someone who is invading your space, because they're feeding off of you feeling lonely. And the thing is that life didn't go the way they wanted it to go for you. And they have a perception of you being the same person you always were to them, even when the years go by. That's the thing about narcissists. Whenever that person tried to kill you and a part of you died along with them, that to them, to the narcissist, they feel like that's it. This is as far as I can view you. I cannot see any type of change within you. This is why, not just in relationships, but with family and friends, people will bring up your past. They will bring up things that you did when you weren't aware of what you were doing, or you weren't aware that you were picking up on the narcissist people around you, traits, right? So the narcissist feels like you're that same person, and this is why they'll hoover you years later, and no amount of time means anything to the narcissist. This is a blood-sucking vampire. They don't care about time. To them, it's like they're basically waiting on time to pass by, because they're like, hey, is this person, are they still mad at me? Or they can't be mad anymore, or I'm going to come back around and be friends, or act like I'm an empath, and I'm going to act like I'm an empath by basically telling this person that I'm just like them, that I was raised by wolves, and this is why I was acting that way. So they'll come to you crying, begging, pleading, making it seem like they can feel what you feel, and they have feelings, that they actually have emotions, that they weren't raised right, or whatever their story is, so that you can open that door and that vampire can come in. They will come in and they'll tell you anything. They'll cry to you. They'll bring up, deaths and diseases and all type of things that are going on to not just them and the people around them. And they'll make you feel like they just had this epiphany, like a life-changing experience. And if you take this person back, they're just going to do what they've always done to you, and that's put you in a trance, in a spell, and do a ritual on you because they view you as being part of them because you were with them. So part of the pain that you're going to experience as an empath is to never look back, because if you look back, you're giving that energy vampire power. Just a simple conversation, you're giving them power. But they need to make sure that they complete the ritual, the ceremony, by meeting you in person. They need to see you in person. This is why they'll call you, they'll email you, they'll reach out to other people, and they're like, I need to see you. I need to see you. And this is why you'll see that they'll even pop up like at your house, or, the places you work, or go to friends' houses. They'll go around other people, and then they'll go around these people acting like, they're searching for you. And if those people are narcissists, they'll get together with those people to basically come back into your life because they want to stir up drama so that you can be like, oh, heck no, that person's dealing with my friend. Why are they being friends with my friend? Why are they coming to visit my mother? Like, we're not together anymore. They need to wake up, You're wondering why. And that's because you didn't open the door to them. So now they have to find someone to open that door. This is why if they can't have access to the people around you, then when they get with that new supply, they're going to throw that new supply in your face. They're going to send you pictures, or they're going to try to make you jealous. They're going to try to get you back in your soft spot, in that place of love, of hurt. They want you to get into that place of hurt, because whether you are having good or bad thoughts, they don't care. They're going to feed off the bad thoughts, and it's going to become a nightmare. And the more of a nightmare that they can create for you, the better it is for them, the more energy you're giving them. So this is why they're very sadistic, and they'll be very, very like proud and happy and calm while you're losing it. And then they'll, try to mess up your reputation, and they'll try to ruin your friendships, relationships, the way people view you. Everything is about making you look like a weak person. So if they cheat, they're like, I know you're not going to cheat back. So people are going to want to eat you up because you're not doing anything back to me. You're not defending yourself. Even if you don't care about what the narcissist is doing, you can literally not care. The problem is that the people around you, or the people around the narcissist, care, the flying monkeys, and they become the problem with you. And it's sometimes you pay too much attention to it. You might give too much energy into those people, or them even, having children with you, to turn your kids on you, or to just have them confused about relationships and life. All of that is feeding that vampire. So the narcissist does not tell you that part of their big secret and why they have to be consistent with their ceremonies and their sadistic nightmare behaviors is because they want you to behave the way they behave. They want you to do unto them what they've done to you. That's part of the game the narcissist plays in their rituals. And the big problem with that is that you do not comply, you do not give in, you're stubborn. To the narcissist, you're stubborn. You're not all the way fully controlled. Some people actually are able and capable of being fully controlled more than others. There's the narcissist, a lot of times they thought that you were going to give in all the way to their big master plan. A lot of times you guys don't understand the plan that they had for you. The type of abuse that they put you through to break you down was for a bigger agenda. And a lot of times, you're thinking it's just about the suffering part, right? You're thinking about the suffering, but you're not thinking about what happens after the suffering. What happens after the suffering? What happens when you suffer so much that you can't feel anything? What happens when you don't have anything and the narcissist is your only way out, basically? So they want you to be like them. And this is why they cannot leave you alone. They cannot leave you alone because you haven't became like them. They can't leave you alone because some of us have understood what happened to us and we understand that energy, and then we choose to not let that energy control us. And this is why the narcissist hates us so much, that they will keep coming back into your life and you're wondering, why won't these people leave me alone? Why won't my family leave me alone if I'm not dealing with them, or my friends? Why won't these people, why are they clicking up with other people? And that's because they can't leave you alone until they destroy you. They can't. And this is why when you choose to understand and help yourself out, and you take the steps to become a better version, a new version of yourself, because that old you has to go. That's what's keeping them binded to you. The old you is keeping them binded to you, and they feel like, if I can keep bringing up the old you and sucking you back up, I can play this game on you. This is why they come back and they apologize and they start talking about the past. They're trying to open up that door. So when that door has closed and you've realized that, and you've protected yourself and you're doing the best to protect yourself, and you're fighting to be in God's grace, basically, you will put yourself in situations where you know that you have to be in this situation because this is what God wants for you. This wasn't what you planned, but this is what God wants for you. And you're like, even though this person, this narcissist, took a piece of me or a part of me, I can't let them take my soul. I can't allow this person to completely take me whole. You know that, you feel that. So you will move on. You can get married, you can remarry, you can have more children. And this narcissist will try to befriend you. They'll try to do anything to keep a tie to you, keep a relationship with you. This is why some narcissists, if they can't be intimate with you, they don't want nothing to do with the kids. They're like, I don't want nothing to do with them, because it was never about them. It was about the energy they were getting from you. And this is why when the kids do get older, now they want to take energy from them because they've gotten older. And they'll try to turn your children on you. And now they feel like, hey, if I'm not opening the door right now, because you're not letting me, I'm going to open it up later on. I'm going to open. It depends on the situation. Or they might not come back because they're like, if I come back, I have so much bad karma, so much bad baggage, that a house is going to fall over my body and my head, like a house is going to fall over on me. So there's no point on going back, because now they're playing a fictitious character for someone else. And they know they can't go back because they're playing this fictitious character with this person that they're with, that they feel like maybe they might even die with. And this person that they're with doesn't completely know them, or the person can completely know them. And if that person completely knows them, it could be a Jezebel spirit And they're going to have to bow down to that Jezebel spirit and go through their own hell. And while they're going through their own hell, they will come back. They will come back. Sometimes you'll have dreams that they're going through something. Sometimes you could feel like they want to come back. Sometimes you feel like, they're nearby, because these people will drive past your house. They won't leave you alone completely. Even if you don't hear from them, it doesn't mean they aren't driving past your house or places where they know you could be. This is why certain people even move out of where they're from, or they feel like they need to move to another place, because they know they have to literally cut every tie with that person. And they also know that that person's a predator, and a part of them will never leave them alone. Even if they don't want to be in a relationship with them, a part of them, knows, like, this narcissist won't leave me alone, And when you leave that relationship, they would try to teleport through, teleport to you. They'll try to, send you telepathic messages. They'll come on your dreams, give you nightmares, like an invasion of privacy, So the reason that narcissists cannot leave you alone and will never leave you alone, they won't leave you alone until you're dead, until you're spiritually dead. Any narcissist in your life, whether it's family, friends, you might think to yourself, I haven't talked to these people in 10 years, 15 years. Something's going to come up at some point, and you're going to have to go back to the past. They're going to try to force you back to the past. If not, they're going to reappear. Like, you might see them on your peripheral, like, and you're just like, oh, I need to close the door and keep on driving. Small world, they will keep coming up. They will keep popping up. Even if the narcissist feels like they're not going to look for you anymore, you will bump into them. You will bump into them at some point of your life, even if it's 20, 30 years, 40 years, 60 years. And that's because you have not turned. And this is what they want. They want you. When they actually bump into you, they know you haven't turned yet. And as much as they can go and talk to people about bumping into you and guess who I saw, and, they'll start talking about all the bad things they probably did to you. A part of them knows you must have good luck if you're still alive, because, they're going to focus on what they did to you in the past instead of focusing on their karma in the present. They're not focused on what they're going through right now and their karma and the fact that they're just pitiful, They're going to be focused on you and talking about you. And this is why you'll see them when they get around other narcissists, or, as they get older, they'll all gather around talking about past supplies. And that's because their souls are still tied to that narcissist, and they still feel that pain that they cause to that, they still feel that pain that they cause to that empath. So this is why the narcissist will continuously talk you into existence, even with people. So, this is why they won't leave you alone. Even if you don't hear from them, they're talking about you. They're talking about you. They don't want you to know they're talking about you. But how many times have you guys eased in on narcissists talking and gossiping about people about the same thing years later, months later, and that person is taking a trip and enjoying life and drinking some champagne, and the narcissist is talking about them like that person really cares. And that's because the narcissist is empty and they're in pain, and they're trying to figure out where that pain is coming from. But they're like, I don't feel bad for that person. I don't feel bad for them. I don't care about what I did to hurt that person. I don't care that I damaged that person's reputation. I don't care if that person went through physical pain because of me. They will never admit that the pain or the anger they feel comes from the pain that they've caused to others. Instead, they will use that pain to project it onto others as if they deserve it. A part of them just feels like you just naturally deserve it, because they're like, it's something about you, you're weak. Why haven't you turned? Why haven't you turned? So this is why when the narcissist does bad to others and then those people reappear in their life, or they bump into those people, they'll come back and talk to you about the people they bumped into, and they're like, yeah, they're connected to someone else, and I didn't have anything to do with that. They want to keep trying to make you believe that, but that's not the reality of it. And sometimes when we bump into people, we think to ourselves, what did I do to that person, or what did that person do to me that I wasn't aware of? There's something that happened, and there's something that you always questioned, and you question yourself like, maybe my perception of that person was right, and I just wasn't sure, or maybe I overlooked certain things. But all these people will circle back around from the past. They will not leave you alone until you know who they are. Until you know who they are and you know who you are, it will not stop. It won't. And they won't leave you alone. They won't leave you alone. If you keep wanting to, the moment you start missing that person, because you're like, as an empath, you have a big heart, you're basically speaking them into existence. And sometimes they hear your calling and they're like, I guess they're ready for me to come back. Let me go and heat check them really quick. This is why your thoughts are very powerful, and you need to be very careful about keeping your thoughts in check. Especially, if you've been in a situation where the narcissist treated you very badly, it's very important to look back at those moments and how that person made you feel. If you have a recording of how that person was yelling at you, calling you out of your name and making you feel worthless, or if you see the way they looked at you, you see their eyes and the way they looked at you and how they were just basically playing games because they were bored, and this is what they do to get energy from people. If you look at those videos, those pictures, even though, you should want to get rid of those images out of your mind while you're healing, and it's hard for you because you have this urge to want to go back, right? You get that urge, especially when you're fresh off. You feel like life has no meaning. You feel like, why am I here? So during those times are the times where you really have to, dig deep and think about how these people treated you, because that's really how they felt. And they purposely connected themselves to you so that they can always come back for fuel. This is why they're like that little kid going to a dance, and they're like, I need to get as many numbers as I can. And they're like going from one person to another person to another person to another person. These people become adults. They're in the bars doing the same thing, clubs. They like to go to toxic places to look for supply. Especially, supply that is not aware of who they are completely as a person. They like to go prey on the weak. They like to prey on narcissists, baby narcissists, basically. And then these people don't get a chance to develop, and they're stuck at that age, and they grow older, and now the narcissist has stuck their venom in that person, and that person's, becomes not just someone with narcissistic traits, but someone very sinister. And you will not know it by looking at the appearance, because they look like you and I. They look like a regular person. So the narcissist, you guys, They will not leave you alone. You have to be very careful with people, getting angry, getting upset, letting these people get to you, retaliating, because they're looking for anything, any little thing. They're looking for any little thing to, to come into that door. They want to come, they want you to open that door so they can come inside of you and get a piece of you, get a piece of your spirit, and once they do that, they want more. It's like a high to them, and they want more and more and more. And they know that the longer you're away from them, the more you're fueling yourself naturally. And this is why they won't want to leave you alone. And sometimes they'll stick around. If they hoover you, they might even stick around for a day or two. And they feel like you already fed me enough. Your time, the talks that we had on the phone, you allowing me here, you opening the door for me, you being nice to me, you believing my lies, me lying to your face, you being intimate with me, all that fueled them, and now they're gone. And you're thinking, oh, they treated me like trash and just left. I'm never going to hear from them again. Of course you will. But if you are willing to give yourself to a demon, because you're looking at the physical form and you're thinking narcissism is just a personality disorder, and you're thinking that you're strong enough to be able to take the pain that comes with it once you leave, you're like, I'm willing to hurt myself because I love this person, but I don't think you really know what that means. So, I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace, and your healing as always. If you guys want to book a session with me, my booking information is on the description. You guys, my prices will be going up. So, try to book a session with me this month and the next month. If you are new to my channel, please do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to comment, share, like, so that people can, listen to this podcast, because their perception on narcissism is just not what they think it is. And the fact that certain people will come out and tell you who they are. The narcissist at this point, they are telling you who they are. And people seem to think that they know what this is, and a lot of times they're not going to know until it happens to them. Most people don't realize what it is until it happens to them. They don't understand the extensity until it happens to them, So, always be thankful, always, bless others and be blessed, because the narcissist came into your life to take energy from you. And once they leave, they will continue to stalk you some way, somehow, because they know that you're not giving your blessings to them anymore. You're blessing, the people you were supposed to come across to bless, and you're being blessed right back. Now you're being fueled the right way, So I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.